In the intricate web of global commerce, countries often impose various measures to regulate the flow of goods and services across their borders. Among these measures, tariffs stand out as a potent tool with a long and storied history, shaping the course of international trade for centuries. Tariffs, in essence, are taxes levied on goods as they cross national boundaries, typically imposed on imports, but occasionally applied to exports as well. These duties can be ad valorem, calculated as a percentage of the value of the imported goods, or specific, levied as a fixed amount per unit, such as weight or quantity. Throughout history, tariffs have served multiple purposes, often intertwined with a nation's economic and political objectives. One primary objective is protectionism, shielding domestic industries from foreign competition by making imported goods more expensive, thereby providing a competitive advantage to domestic producers. Another common objective is revenue generation, as tariffs provide a source of income for governments, historically a significant revenue stream, particularly in developing countries. Tariffs can also be employed as a tool for bargaining and retaliation in international trade disputes. In the contemporary globalized economy, characterized by complex supply chains and interconnected markets, tariffs have become a subject of intense debate, with proponents and critics fiercely debating their merits and drawbacks. This debate is particularly relevant in the context of the United States, a nation with a long and intricate relationship with tariffs, shaping its economic trajectory from its nascent stages to its current standing as a global economic powerhouse. Understanding the nuances of tariffs, their historical context, their impact on various stakeholders, and the economic arguments surrounding their use is crucial for comprehending the complexities of international trade and its implications for businesses, consumers, and the global economy at large. In international commerce, tariffs are potent tools used by governments to influence the flow of goods across borders. These taxes on imports or exports regulate trade, protect domestic industries, and generate revenue. Tariffs impact the global economy, affecting prices, production, and consumption. There are two primary types: ad valorem tariffs and specific tariffs. Ad valorem tariffs are a percentage of the imported goods value. For example, a 10% tariff on a $20,000 car adds $2,000. Specific tariffs are fixed amounts per unit, regardless of value. For instance, $5 per ton of imported steel. Understanding these tariffs is crucial for grasping their impact on goods and industries. Tariffs reflect economic and political priorities, often aiming to protect domestic industries. They make imports more expensive, giving domestic producers a competitive edge. However, this can lead to higher prices for consumers. Tariffs also generate revenue for governments. They can be used as bargaining tools in trade disputes. Understanding tariffs is essential for navigating global trade. In the intricate machinery of international trade, tariffs function as a powerful lever, influencing the flow of goods across borders and impacting economies worldwide. Understanding the mechanics of how tariffs are imposed, collected, and their subsequent ripple effects throughout the economy is crucial for comprehending their significance in shaping global commerce. In the United States, the authority to set tariffs rests primarily with Congress, as stipulated by the U.S. Constitution. While Congress holds the ultimate power, it has, over time, delegated some of this authority to the executive branch, specifically to the President, through various trade acts. One such act is the Trade Act of 1974, which empowers the President to negotiate trade agreements and modify tariffs within certain limits. This delegation of power reflects the need for flexibility and swift action in responding to evolving trade dynamics and national security concerns. The collection of tariffs falls under the purview of U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the agency responsible for enforcing U.S. trade laws and regulations at ports of entry. The imposition of tariffs sets off a chain reaction throughout the economy, impacting various stakeholders in different ways. Consumers ultimately bear the brunt of tariffs through higher prices for goods and services. By unraveling the complexities of tariffs, we gain valuable insights into the delicate balance between protecting domestic interests, promoting free trade, and fostering a stable and prosperous global economic order. In the intricate dance of global trade, tariffs stand as a powerful tool, shaping the flow of goods and influencing economic landscapes. At the heart of this power lies a fundamental question: who wields the authority to impose these taxes on traded goods? In the United States, the answer is enshrined within the very fabric of the nation's governance: the U.S. Constitution. The Constitution, a beacon of American democracy, meticulously outlines the powers and limitations of the federal government. Among its carefully crafted clauses lies Article 1, Section 8, which bestows upon Congress the exclusive power to regulate commerce with foreign nations. This seemingly straightforward clause, known as the Commerce Clause, forms the bedrock of U.S. tariff authority, granting Congress the power to impose tariffs on imports and exports. The framers of the Constitution, acutely aware of the potential for discord and unfair trade practices among states under the previous Articles of Confederation, sought to establish a unified front in international trade. By vesting Congress with the sole power to regulate commerce with foreign nations, they aimed to prevent a chaotic web of conflicting state tariffs and foster a cohesive national trade policy. This concentration of power in Congress, however, does not translate into an absolute monopoly over tariffs. Over the course of U.S. history, Congress has, through various legislative acts, delegated some of its tariff-setting authority to the executive branch, specifically to the president. This delegation reflects a recognition of the need for flexibility and agility in responding to evolving trade dynamics and unforeseen economic circumstances. One pivotal example of such delegation is the Trade Act of 1974, a landmark legislation that empowers the president to negotiate trade agreements with foreign nations. The act grants the president the authority to modify tariffs within certain limits, subject to congressional oversight. This authority allows the president to engage in trade negotiations, offering tariff reductions as bargaining chips to secure reciprocal concessions from trading partners. Another instance of delegated tariff authority lies within Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. This section grants the president the extraordinary power to adjust tariffs on goods deemed essential to national security. This provision, rooted in Cold War anxieties, reflects the understanding that certain imports, if deemed detrimental to national security, might warrant swift tariff action to protect vital domestic industries. This delicate balance between congressional authority and presidential discretion underscores the complex interplay of power and pragmatism in U.S. tariff policy. While Congress retains ultimate control over tariffs, the president's ability to negotiate trade agreements and act on national security grounds adds a layer of flexibility to an otherwise rigid system. The delegation of tariff power, however, has not been without controversy. Critics argue that it grants the president excessive power, potentially leading to protectionist measures that harm consumers and distort markets. Proponents, on the other hand, contend that it provides the president with necessary tools to navigate the complexities of global trade and safeguard national interests. This ongoing debate highlights the enduring tension between congressional prerogative and executive expediency in shaping U.S. tariff policy. As we delve deeper into the mechanics of tariff imposition and collection, we will witness how this balance of power plays out in practice, influencing the lives of businesses, consumers, and the global trade landscape at large. Section 2. The tariff process, from investigation to implementation. The imposition of tariffs involves a complex process between the executive branch and Congress, marked by investigations and public pronouncements. Domestic industries or lawmakers might petition for tariffs, or the president might initiate an investigation. Investigations led by the USTR or the Department of Commerce gather evidence and assess the impact of tariffs. Public hearings and written submissions enrich the investigation. A detailed report with recommendations is prepared for the president. The president decides whether to impose new tariffs, adjust existing ones, or maintain the status quo. If tariffs are imposed, the announcement is made through a presidential proclamation or executive order. The specifics of the tariff action are published in the Federal Register. The U.S. government notifies the WTO and affected trading partners. CBP collects the newly imposed tariffs at ports of entry. Importers factor these costs into their pricing decisions. The imposition of tariffs is a complex process of investigations, deliberations, and notifications. It reflects the balance between protecting domestic interests and navigating international trade relations. The process moves from deliberation to implementation with the collection of tariffs. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection ensures compliance and collects tariffs. Importers declare the nature, value, and origin of imported goods. CBP officers verify declarations and calculate applicable tariff rates. The payment of tariffs occurs before goods are released into the U.S. market. CBP's role in tariff collection is crucial for the smooth functioning of international commerce. Section 3 Tariff Collection, CBP's role at the border. CBP is tasked with collecting tariffs on imported goods, ensuring compliance with trade laws. At ports of entry, importers declare the nature, value, and origin of goods. CBP officers verify declarations and classify goods under the harmonized tariff schedule. Accurate declarations are crucial for determining the correct tariff rate. CBP calculates tariff rates, considering the country of origin and trade agreements. Tariffs are paid before goods are released into the U.S. market. CBP encourages electronic payment methods for efficiency. Inspections ensure compliance and prevent the entry of prohibited goods. CBP uses technology and intelligence reports to select shipments for inspection. Inspections may involve physical examination, scanning equipment, and canine units. Discrepancies during inspections can lead to detainment and investigation. Investigations aim to uncover trade law violations and protect national security. Revenue from tariffs supports government programs and services. Tariffs ensure a level playing field for domestic industries. CBP's role in tariff collection is vital for safeguarding American borders. The meticulous work of CBP officers ensures the smooth functioning of global commerce. CBP's efforts uphold the economic interests of the nation. The collection of tariffs is a testament to CBP's diligence. CBP's role is often overlooked but crucial in international trade. Section 4 Tariff Impact, a mixed bag of consequences. Tariffs create a ripple effect within an economy, impacting businesses, consumers, and governments. They provide a competitive advantage to domestic producers, but can lead to higher prices for imported goods. Domestic producers benefit from reduced foreign competition, potentially leading to increased production and job creation. However, industries relying on imported goods face higher production costs and squeezed profit margins. Consumers often bear the brunt of tariffs through higher prices for goods and services. Low-income households are particularly affected by increased prices. Governments generate revenue from tariffs but risk retaliatory measures from trading partners. Tariffs can spark trade wars, disrupting global supply chains and economic growth. Tariffs influence geopolitical dynamics and international relations. They can foster cooperation or ignite tensions between nations. The complexities of tariff impacts defy simplistic narratives of winners and losers. Policymakers must navigate the delicate interplay of intended and unintended consequences. Understanding these complexities is crucial for effective tariff policy. Historical examples provide insights into the successes and failures of tariff policies. Analyzing real-world cases helps understand the impact of tariffs on the economy. Tariffs have enduring relevance in an interconnected global economy. The impact of tariffs extends beyond economics, shaping international relations. Tariffs are a tool for protecting domestic industries and generating revenue. The mixed bag of consequences highlights the need for careful consideration in tariff policy. The story of tariffs in the United States is deeply intertwined with the nation's origins. In the early years, tariffs were a primary source of revenue for the fledgling government. The Tariff Act of 1789 laid the groundwork for American economic policy. The act imposed modest tariffs on imported goods to generate revenue. Alexander Hamilton advocated for tariffs to foster domestic industries. Tariffs provided a protective shield for nascent American industries. The War of 1812 solidified the role of tariffs in economic development. Disrupted trade with Great Britain led to increased domestic production. Post-war, American industries lobbied for continued protection. Congress enacted tariff acts to raise rates and protect domestic industries. Tariffs played a pivotal role in shaping the economic landscape. They were a catalyst for industrial development in the young nation. Tariffs helped lay the foundation for America's rise as an industrial powerhouse. The early years witnessed the transformative power of tariffs. Tariffs were crucial for revenue generation and economic growth. They balanced the need for revenue with the promotion of domestic industries. Tariffs were a tool for nation building and economic stability. The story of tariffs is a testament to their enduring impact on the economy. Tariffs shaped the economic policies of the United States. They played a key role in the nation's journey to becoming an industrial leader. As the Industrial Revolution swept across the globe, transforming societies and reshaping economic landscapes, the United States found itself at a crossroads. The nation, still in its relative infancy, possessed vast natural resources and a burgeoning entrepreneurial spirit. But it also faced stiff competition from established industrial powers like Great Britain. Tariffs became a strategic instrument to nurture and protect American industries. The decades following the War of 1812 witnessed a surge in American industrial growth. Factories sprouted across the northeastern states, harnessing the power of water and steam to produce textiles, iron, and other manufactured goods. American industrialists, recognizing the threat posed by British imports, turned to the government for protection. They argued that tariffs would create a level playing field, allowing American industries to compete on equal footing with their British counterparts. The Tariff of 1816 imposed duties of up to 25% on imported cotton and woolen goods, providing a much-needed boost to the fledgling American textile industry. Subsequent tariff acts further raised rates on a variety of manufactured goods, solidifying the role of tariffs as a shield for American industries. By the late 19th century, the United States had emerged as an industrial powerhouse, its factories churning out a vast array of goods that rivaled those of its European counterparts. The Great Depression in the 1930s cast a long shadow over the global economy, prompting governments to rethink their economic policies. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930, intended to shield American industries, instead triggered retaliatory tariffs and a collapse in global trade. The disastrous consequences forced a reassessment of U.S. trade policy. Post-World War II, the U.S. spearheaded a new era of international cooperation, leading to the creation of the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, GATT, in 1947. This shift from protectionism to free trade has had a profound impact on the global economy, fostering growth and expanding consumer choices. The year 2018 marked a turning point in U.S. trade policy when protectionism re-emerged with a vengeance. The Trump administration, driven by a nationalist economic agenda, targeted steel and aluminum industries. Tariffs on these metals reverberated through the global economy, exposing the complexities of protectionist measures. In March 2018, President Trump announced tariffs on imported steel and aluminum, citing national security concerns. The tariffs sent shockwaves through global markets, igniting fears of a trade war. The administration argued these metals were essential for critical infrastructure and defense. Critics questioned the national security justification, pointing out imports from allies posed no threat. The tariffs marked a significant departure from decades of U.S. trade policy, exposing the intricate web of interdependencies in the modern global economy. The imposition of tariffs rarely produces the desired outcomes in isolation. The steel and aluminum tariffs revealed complexities and unintended consequences. Tariffs distorted markets, raised prices, and disrupted supply chains. Prices surged, benefiting protected industries but impacting downstream sectors. Higher costs were passed on to consumers, affecting a wide range of goods. The tariffs highlighted the interconnected nature of the modern global economy. The imposition of tariffs rarely occurs in a vacuum. Trading partners often respond with retaliatory measures, escalating into trade wars. The steel and aluminum tariffs exposed the fragility of global trade relations. Major trading partners announced retaliatory tariffs on American goods. These tariffs targeted iconic American products like Harley-Davidson motorcycles and soybeans. The retaliatory tariffs inflicted collateral damage on businesses and consumers. The measures created uncertainty and instability in the global trading system. Long-standing alliances were strained as countries resorted to tit-for-tat tariffs. The tariffs highlighted the interconnected nature of the global economy. Section 4. A tale of two industries, winners and losers in the tariff crossfire. Tariffs create a nuanced reality within the domestic economy. Steel and aluminum tariffs provided temporary protection but exposed economic interconnections. U.S. steel and aluminum industries saw a surge in demand. However, other sectors faced higher production costs. Manufacturers of automobiles and appliances struggled with soaring costs. Some companies laid off workers or raised prices. The agricultural sector was hit hard by retaliatory tariffs. American farmers saw demand plummet and prices collapse. Tariffs exposed the interconnected nature of global trade. Policies benefiting one sector can harm others, affecting the overall economy. Section 5. Lessons learned. Navigating the complexities of tariff policy. The steel and aluminum tariff saga offers a cautionary tale, reminding us of the complexities and potential pitfalls of protectionist measures. Tariffs can protect domestic industries but require a keen understanding of global market dynamics. The tariffs provided a temporary boost but came at a significant cost to other sectors. They triggered retaliatory measures, sparking a trade war and raising prices for consumers. The episode underscores the importance of pursuing multilateral solutions to trade disputes. Unilateral actions often backfire, harming the interests of all parties involved. The experience highlights the need for a nuanced understanding of the interconnectedness of the global economy. Tariffs can have far-reaching consequences, impacting businesses and consumers. The most enduring lesson is the importance of carefully weighing the costs and benefits of protectionist measures. Policymakers must consider all potential ramifications, ensuring the cure is not worse than the disease. The lessons from the steel and aluminum tariff saga remind us of the importance of pursuing open markets and fostering international cooperation, crafting trade policies that promote sustainable and inclusive economic growth for all. Section 1. Harley-Davidson, an American icon in the crosshairs. Few brands evoke freedom, rebellion, and rugged individualism like Harley-Davidson. Founded in 1903, it became an icon, synonymous with the American spirit. By the early 1980s, Harley faced an existential threat from economic forces and fierce foreign competition. The 1970s oil crisis hit demand for large motorcycles. Japanese manufacturers offered smaller, fuel-efficient bikes. Harley struggled with outdated facilities and inconsistent quality. By the early 1980s, Harley was on the brink of collapse. The Reagan administration intervened, leading to a successful protectionist experiment. Section 2. A targeted response. The case for motorcycle tariffs. Harley-Davidson, facing an existential threat from Japanese imports, appealed to the Reagan administration for protection. They argued that Japanese manufacturers were dumping motorcycles in the U.S. market. The ITC agreed, recommending temporary tariffs on imported heavyweight motorcycles. Reagan, despite his free market stance, imposed a declining tariff structure to protect Harley-Davidson. Harley-Davidson's resurgence began with tariffs providing a lifeline. Tariffs made Japanese motorcycles more expensive, giving Harley-Davidson room to address internal challenges. The company modernized production, adopted just-in-time inventory, and improved quality. They focused on core models and innovation, establishing a dedicated R&D center. Employee involvement programs and profit sharing boosted morale and productivity. By the late 1980s, Harley-Davidson had transformed, regaining its reputation for quality and craftsmanship. Section 4. A qualified success lessons from the motorcycle tariff. The Harley-Davidson motorcycle tariff case stands as a rare example of protectionism achieving its intended goal. The tariffs provided Harley-Davidson with the breathing space it needed to revitalize itself and regain its competitive edge. The case also highlights the complexities of tariff policy and the importance of considering both intended and unintended consequences. One key lesson is the importance of targeting tariffs narrowly, focusing on specific industries or products. The motorcycle tariffs minimized the impact on consumers and avoided a broader trade war with Japan. The temporary nature of the tariffs also played a crucial role in their success. The declining tariff structure incentivized Harley-Davidson to become more competitive. The company's own commitment to reform was crucial. The tariffs were not a substitute for internal restructuring, innovation, and customer satisfaction. Harley-Davidson emerged stronger and more competitive. The case highlights the importance of carefully crafted and targeted measures. The gathering storm seeds of a trade war. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, synonymous with protectionism, was sown in economic anxiety. The Roaring '20s masked economic vulnerabilities. American agriculture faced acute challenges. Post-WW1 agricultural prices declined sharply. Farmers lobbied for protection from foreign competition. They argued tariffs would raise domestic prices. Their pleas resonated with rural lawmakers. The stock market crash of 1929 fueled protectionism. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act escalated into a trade war. Section 2. A nation divided, the tariff debate rages. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act debate exposed a nation deeply divided along economic and ideological lines. Proponents argued high tariffs would protect American jobs and industries. Senator Reed Smoot emerged as the leading voice for protectionism. Opponents warned of harm to consumers and global trade. Representative Cordell Hull argued high tariffs would stifle trade and harm the economy. The debate reflected a fundamental disagreement about the role of government in the economy. Section 3. Smoot-Hawley, a monument to protectionism. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, signed by President Hoover in 1930, raised tariffs to record levels, closing off the American market. Supporters hailed it as a victory for American workers, while opponents feared it would stifle trade and worsen the global downturn. Henry Ford warned it would disrupt supply chains and harm the economy. Trading partners retaliated with their own tariffs, leading to a devastating impact on global trade. Section 4. The Great Depression's grip trade collapses. Economies crumble. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, initially intended to protect American industries and workers, instead became a symbol of economic isolationism and a catalyst for a global trade war that deepened and prolonged the Great Depression. As retaliatory tariffs proliferated, international trade ground to a halt, sending shockwaves through economies worldwide. The collapse of international trade had a devastating impact on industries that relied on exports. American farmers, already struggling with low prices, saw demand for their products evaporate as foreign markets closed off. Mountains of unsold wheat, cotton, and other agricultural commodities piled up, further depressing prices and pushing farmers deeper into debt and despair. The manufacturing sector, while initially shielded from foreign competition by the tariffs, soon felt the sting of the global downturn. With international trade in a tailspin, demand for manufactured goods plummeted, leading to factory closures, mass layoffs, and a downward spiral in industrial production. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act and the ensuing trade war created a vicious cycle. As trade barriers rose, international commerce dwindled, further depressing demand and exacerbating the economic downturn. The global economy, starved of the lifeblood of trade, spiraled downward, with unemployment soaring, businesses failing, and millions of people plunged into poverty. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act stands as a stark reminder of the interconnected nature of the global economy and the potential for protectionist policies to backfire, harming the very people they are intended to help. The Act's legacy continues to resonate in the 21st century, serving as a cautionary tale for policymakers tempted by the allure of protectionism. The Great Depression, while a complex historical event with multiple contributing factors, serves as a stark reminder of the importance of international cooperation, open markets, and the pursuit of policies that promote sustainable and inclusive economic growth for all. Section 1. The Enduring Lessons of Tariffs, Navigating the Delicate Balance. The history and impact of U.S. tariffs reveal a complex landscape, where policies yield both intended and unintended consequences, shaping industries and nations. Tariffs have left an indelible mark on the American economic and political fabric. Their impact hinges on factors like design, timing, and global context. Carefully crafted tariffs can protect industries and address unfair trade practices, but broad, indiscriminate tariffs can backfire, distorting markets and sparking trade wars. The steel and aluminum tariffs remind us of the interconnectedness of the global economy. They triggered retaliatory measures, disrupted supply chains, and raised prices. Multilateral solutions to trade disputes are crucial, as unilateral actions often backfire. The Harley-Davidson case shows the potential for targeted tariffs to achieve goals. Tariffs provided Harley-Davidson with the breathing room to restructure and regain its edge. But tariffs are a temporary bridge to a more competitive future. The lessons from U.S. tariffs will continue to resonate in the global economy. The debate between protectionism and free trade will persist, driven by evolving realities. Tariffs must be wielded with caution, foresight, and a commitment to sustainable growth.